Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Cinema Circle, the show where we talk and do movie reviews of all your favorite releases coming out of Hollywood. The show that is for the fans, by the fans. I'm your host for today, VonJevy, and joining me, as usual, is Kiki S. Breezy.
Hey.
Patricia Rostrulo.
Hey, everyone.
Anthony Who Knows.
What's up?
And again, joining us for one of the biggest movies that we're ever going to review, Crystal Rose. Oh, God. She back. Okay. The movie that we are talking about today is Endgame. Check it out.
We still have one promise to keep. If we can't protect the Earth, you can be damn sure we'll avenge it. Whatever it takes.
All right, we're back. Guys, we've waited how many years? What was it? 10, 11 years for this movie?
Like forever.
For the finale.
Whole life.
Oh my goodness. I think, mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I want to start with Patricia. You watched it 5 times. So let's start with you.
I thought this movie was amazing. Like, from the first time I watched it to, like, the 5th time, I was still in it each time. I think the movie was a perfect ending for a story. Because, like, we get a lot of things, episodes or, like, movies that end a series and we're just not satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this one did it justice and we were so satisfied with the ending. I love how they connected all the movies together into this movie.
Yeah.
I love how there were so many characters, but you finished everything, right? So, like, you had Iron Man, Thor. It was just very well put together and well thought out from the first movie all the way till the end. So I think it was amazing.
Kiki, you predicted so many things for Infinity War, and then we were sitting in the pre-show, and you predicted a few things there as well. Did you predict the ending, or did you predict the stuff that happened in this movie?
Well, I think we all kind of knew we were going to get a happy ending of some sort. I was pleasantly surprised. For me, the movie, it was a slow start. I don't do well with 3-hour movies, so I could have taken 20 minutes off of the first act, and it would have been like 100% for me. Although it was 99 anyways. I do think that everybody's storyline tied together like beautifully. You could tell they put so much work into this final Endgame, perfect name and everything. They didn't need Captain Marvel. They could have.
I think they actually needed her in that part.
I think they did too.
They kind of needed her, but they could have figured it out. They could have figured it out though. But I just think that the whole movie made me feel good. And I love that when I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
The 3 hours was stressful, but I feel like it was all worth it. Like, everything about it was well done, and I just bravo to them.
Yeah.
Anthony.
In the pre-show, I predicted that so many of them were gonna die. I predicted that the main Avengers weren't gonna make it, and I'm glad that I was wrong. I'm like looking at it now. I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't have liked that. I'm glad that it ended on a happy note, other than obviously Iron Man. But I'm glad that everybody else kind of had their proper ending, especially Captain America. I love the fact that he was able to kind of live his own life that he kind of missed out on, and the fact that we see him as an old man. Like, it just feels, there's something about it. It's like, you know what, good for you, man. Like, clearly he's happy, and he got to do everything that he wanted to do that he never got to do. So I'm really happy with how they ended that. I also am happy that it was Iron Man who did this sacrifice, because who better to do it than the guy who started out, right? So I'm really content with that.
Well, it also connects to that you're not the person to lay your life on a line for somebody else.
And then he ended up doing it for the whole world. The only thing, I guess, that I wish is that I feel like Black Widow died and then we never got back. Like, we didn't get a proper farewell for her. Not that we needed it, but just for me, I feel like we needed something, because in the end, they really celebrated Iron Man's life. We didn't really get that so much from Black Widow. I know they did it when they said their own goodbyes.
Yeah,
but then so much happened after that I feel like it's like, we were sad about Iron Man, was like, yo, but we just forgot about Black Widow.
Widow,
She's
yeah.
But is that something that we needed and not
It's just something
necessarily?
I
Yeah, like, because I feel like with that point, because I agree, I was missing that, because I'm like, yo, she's given us so much from this franchise since Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
It would have been more for us, but I don't know if Black Widow herself, like as the character, needed that, like, or wanted that. That's not the type of character that she is. Like, she's an assassin, and you know what I mean. Like, her death is honor, and that's, you know.
Yeah, I guess the only reason I think that is because of the fact that this is the end all be all of this saga. It's like, you know, a nice proper goodbye, like Iron Man.
I would have loved
nice.
that.
But besides that, I mean, just overall, the movie was great. I love that they traveled back in time and we got to see bits of the previous movies. It's kind of like a montage of the MCU as a whole, which was nice. It was like a nice celebration of that. And just the emotion, man, and when everybody came in that last act and they all showed up, like when Black Panther first showed up and then the rest of them came, man. And the best thing too is that we were in a theater full of people who were going crazy. It helped with the experience so much, you know, watching it and having everybody cheer at the right moments and be shocked at the right moments. I think that's what makes a good movie, is when you have something that can be so interactive for an entire theater.
Family, friends,
so invested, so
strangers.
engaged. So just kudos to everybody behind this movie. It was spot on. It was great.
Crystal.
I agree. I thought they did a phenomenal job with like closing it out. I really loved the flashbacks to previous movies. It was very nostalgic, because when you think about it, like the first Avengers movie came out when? Like 2012, like so long ago. And like even the Iron Man movies, they like, there's so many years that we've invested into it. So them going back and like paying homage to those times, I really enjoyed it.
Even the dialogue pieces, right? There was callbacks to like some of the references that they said in other movies, and you're just like, whoa, like it all comes together. Like Ant-Man and the Wasp, if you watch that, right? Wasp being like Hope, the character Hope, he's like, yeah, Cap, you know, Cap, and she's like, Cap. He's like, yeah, that's what I call him. And she's chirping him for that. But then in the movie, in Endgame, she's just like, we're on it, Cap. And it's just like, oh, the feels.
My favorite one is, I can do this all day. Yeah.
Or to the left.
That was the moment.
That was like the moment. It's such a simple line in one of the other movies, but it like,
and it wasn't even a big line in that movie.
But it opened up the whole fight scene. Like, it was so good.
And I just like the fact that, because honestly, I never really felt Ant-Man as a superhero. I just thought he was kind of like a waste of time. Like, who was he? But I like the fact that Endgame. You're hurt? I just like the fact that Endgame kind of like validated him. I think because he played a huge part in them actually winning. So I like that they kind of, because I left feeling like, okay, like Ant-Man, I respect you, like, you know what I'm saying? And I definitely agree with you about the comment with Black Widow. I feel like they kind of like dashed her away after, like they forgot about her. I was so sad when Iron Man died. Like, I was like, you could have killed anybody else. Honestly, I would have been okay, not Iron Man. Like, I was so sad, but
that's why they did it.
Yeah.
I know, like, my heart, I was like, why? Like, I didn't say anybody else you could have took, sorry. But not my Iron Man. So I was bummed about that. But I'm going to say something kind of unpopular. Well, I don't know, maybe it's not an unpopular, but I kind of liked Infinity War better though.
No, that's not
okay, so
it's not okay.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna mention that. And I guess I'll start with that then. What was interesting about this movie, because people often ask that question, which one do you like better, Infinity War or Endgame? And it's really hard to decipher between the two, because you have to kind of look at them as one movie, right? We have Infinity War. Because it is a connection. It literally is a connection. Because, and hear what I'm going to say. Infinity War is a traditionally structured movie with an untraditional ending, right? But the only reason why they were able to do this untraditional ending is because it was a part of another movie. They would have never like you really want to mess us up and end your franchise like that, right? Where everybody's like all those people are dead.
People would have been
But
in depression.
Exactly. And that's why they were allowed to do that, because we knew already we were getting Endgame, and we knew, like, we're so privileged, like, as a movie going society, that we know about movies years in advance. So we know the slate, and we know that, okay, these people are coming back, but how are they going to do it? That's what we're interested in seeing. Not are they coming back? We know they're coming back.
Right.
All right.
Originally it's part 1 and part 2,
Can we just go down the table and say who liked which better? Like, if you liked Endgame or Infinity War better?
No explanation, just Infinity War for me.
Endgame.
Well, I said Infinity War.
Infinity War.
What's yours? You skip yours?
It's really hard. I'm going to go with right now, I'm going to go with Endgame. It keeps teeter-tottering back and forth. It does keep teeter-tottering back and forth. Because taking what I'm going to say about Endgame, Endgame is a non-traditionally structured movie with a traditional ending. Those 3 hours for me flew by. It was slow in the beginning, and I agree with you, but it was well needed and it was well deserved. Yes, they could have shaved, maybe 10 minutes here and there, but really and truly, every moment counted, because there's so many different characters in it. So it's not like you're holding on to one character for so long. It's like once you had enough of that, they moved over to Ant-Man, and then they moved over to this person, like Hawkeye, and they're going all over the place in all different parts of the world to see the destruction of what they did.
The thing with Infinity War and Endgame is both of them had very different intentions. Sorry. The thing with Infinity War and Endgame is both of them had very different intentions with what they wanted their audience to feel. With Infinity War, it was more about here's a story that's gonna leave you wanting to know what happens next. Whereas with Endgame, it's like, here's a wrap it up, satisfying ending. And I think that's why when people say which one they like better, it's just all a matter of taste, what you prefer in your movies. Do you prefer a nice wrapped up, bow on top ending, or do you prefer something that leaves you in a state of despair and shock and leaves you wanting to know more? And I think for us that felt Infinity War was better, I think it's because we love the fact that Infinity War was an ending that we didn't know we were gonna end up feeling. Like, we all felt sad, we all felt the emotion
was a lot higher.
And no movies, I mean, maybe there's other movies, but for me, there's no movie that's done that before.
For me as well.
So when you say it, you say it like that,
or wrecked me for like a good 3 days. I was
No, it's true. It really, honestly, Infinity War really left us messed up. And when you bring it like that, because if you would have asked me this 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would have said Infinity War for those particular reasons. But when I look at the structure of the movie, would I have liked this movie a 3-hour movie like this otherwise? That wasn't Endgame, the way how they structured it out. So when I look at it, I'm like, okay, that point, yes, it makes me like Infinity War better. But when I look at what they did, it's so hard to do what they did with Endgame, making it non-traditional, the way how it was just so slow. We're not used to that in our Marvel like MCU movies. We're used to the action, the fighting, just that.
We're used to a beginning, middle, and end.
And this just gave us you know what I mean? So it was just like we were coasting and dealing with the effects of the aftermath. And that's why I'm like, okay, if you're able to hook me and I'm able to watch this movie 4 times in the theaters and it's that long and it's that slow, right? But it's slow for a purpose. It's slow for a reason. You know what I mean? So that's why I kind of like it's gonna, like, depending on the day, depending on the conversation, I'm gonna say, one
either
is
or.
either or.
I think where the both are the same is that they both met their expectations. I think both of them did what both were supposed to do.
Let's talk about Thanos in this movie.